So I'll just share one more time. Someone's mic is on. Kindly switch off your mics. Just one more moment, guys. We'll start shortly, very shortly. Hi, no, my system audio was good. I was, just, we were just checking out about the live streaming and all. Everything is cool here. We have more than 130 participants live right now with us here in YouTube. So yeah, we can start, guys. Thank you very much for joining in this quite odd hours on Sunday. But this webinar is what we have planned is one of the amazing webinar for all of us. I also have frankly no idea about clinical data management. I mean, as a course, okay, as a course. If you ask me from a clinical research perspective, I can tell you. But when it comes to, I did not do any specific course on clinical data management. I know what are the third parties, how they install the data, how they manage, what is CRF, other things. But when we come to the organized version of the clinical data management, it includes a lot of things. I will just share the YouTube link. Whoever want to join the YouTube, they can directly join the YouTube also from here, because I think we cannot accommodate more than 100 participants today in Zoom. So if you want to go to YouTube live streaming, you can join the YouTube live streaming also, and all the questions will be taken to the consideration, and all the questions will be answered at the end. Okay, so let me come to the point. Let's start with the webinar. So let me come to that. Today's webinar is important because we are going to talk about the career opportunities in clinical data management, which is, I think, very important, and one of the major sector right now. Clinical research is a major sector for jobs after pharmacy, nursing, and dental. Many people after dentistry, BDS, and after nursing, after PharmD, after B Pharm, after M Pharm, they are choosing the clinical research as one of the career option, and one of the independent major career option. Okay, and in clinical research, clinical data management is something where you can make your career up to the heights, and you can earn a lot. Clinical data management is a very specific, very specific area, I will say, where you can learn many things, and you can grow up to any position, and earn a lot of the pay scales are really high. I was talking to our mentor. She's one of the expert in that, and she was telling me how students can make up their careers. How they can start their careers from the starting in clinical data management, and how they can excel that. Okay, so today's agenda of this webinar from our side is, like, you can learn these perspectives. You can understand what is clinical data management. You can understand what is the flow in clinical data management. You can understand what are the proper job opportunities. What is the pay scale. What are the companies who are hiring the people from different backgrounds in the clinical data management, and what is the hierarchy people share in the clinical data management. Okay, all things will be considered. These all things will be will be taken by our today's resource person. And another agenda, so someone has to mute. Okay, I'll mute from. So and then another agenda, CLIMAD has come up with a system for with the organized system, or an accelerator course, I will say. CLIMAD is launching today our accelerator course in clinical data management. Okay, we are coming up with, that is good news for everyone, that we are coming up with a course, accelerator course in data management, clinical data management, and that course is very comprehensive. I think someone else's mic is on again, guys. Please put off your mics. Okay, turn off your mics, everyone. Yeah, thank you. What's that? So you can learn the clinical data management. Now, before going to our course, what we are going to do, I will tell a little more about this webinar. So this webinar is totally a learning webinar. and we'll be discussing more whatever about clinical data management, and you will be learning. So we kept 2 sessions, not only one, because when I was discussing with Miss Neha, our today's speaker resource person, so we cannot complete the basics of clinical research, clinical research and clinical data management in one class. So we thought to keep this webinar into 2 parts. One is today, and one we can, we have that on 17th of the July. Okay, we have the second, second webinar, second part of this webinar on 17th of the July. Okay, so you all have to be with us today as well as on the 17th. Then only, if you are looking for the certificate will be issued only based on whoever is attending today and on 17th. So that is just technical information for all of you. Other than that, that today's webinar will be carry forwarded on the 17th itself. So it is something which is mandatory to attend the 17th webinar also, to understand the complete CDM, to understand the complete all the aspects of CDM, even some technical aspects, technical levels of the CDM as well, right? So I was talking about the course. When I was behind Miss Neha and our entire team to start something in clinical data management. I was behind them for almost more than 6 months. I was talking to them. I was like, let's come up with something in clinical data management, because when I was looking into the market, when I was looking into other organizations, other institutions who are providing the clinical data management, those are vague. Frankly, those are vague. Why those are vague? Because their cost is too much. Their cost is really too much. And at CLIMED, I always try to come up with very economical courses, very economical learnings for the students, very economical learnings. Okay, so when I saw in the market the course price for CDM, the proper CDM trainings, learnings with the industrial projects, it was costing around 1 lakh. Some were charging 80,000, some were charging 1 lakh, even people are charging 1.5 lakh. So it ranges from 50-60,000 to 1.5 lakh, and that is quite unaffordable to everyone, all the students who belongs to the low middle income families, or the middle income families, right? And due to COVID, there is a big financial crisis with our students, with our parents who are looking for
Sir, I'm very fine.
looking to give the best education to their student, to their kids. So we had decided to come up with a very economical price for the data management. Of course, this is one of the premium course, and we have people from different industries. We have our resource person from UK, and this is a comprehensive course. Okay, this is not just a basic course, it will include everything. Okay, almost everything which you need to enter to the market, which you need to write at the beginners level, at the intermediate levels, and even we are including the advanced version of CDM, advanced CDM also to learn for you guys. So let me take you through the browser a little bit. Then I'll invite our today's guest speaker, who will be talking about CDM, who will be taking the webinar, entire webinar. Okay, so I'll just share the. Okay, so guys, that's my pleasure to share with you, and to share the browser of our CDM course for the first time with you. So this is the Ecxelerator course in clinical data management. We are coming up with the Ecxelerator course in clinical data management. Okay, so you will get everything. This certification is designed to build a foundation and provide comprehensive knowledge in CDM discipline. So this Ecxelerator course provides the specialized training and practice to the participant and industrial based assignments. Okay, this course will help you also learn and develop and improve the clinical data management skills, standards, and your industrial expectations essential for CDM career aspects. Here, along with this, we have included one more very important and very exciting part, that is called personalized training. Okay, so in this personalized training, if you look at this, I'll just show you. In the personalized training, we'll be preparing you for the interviews, mock interviews, especially for the CDM classes, or for the CDM participants, for the CDM industry. and your CV preparations for the CDM. What kind of skills you have to keep, what kind of things you should keep in your CV. Okay, so this personalized training is added, without any charges, just in the just into this course only. Okay, so this will be personalized training, will be included in this course itself. Okay, and you can see, this is comprehensive. So it is comprehensive coverage of the best practices and tasks in CDM domain. A strong background of our, like we are, as I told you, it is included everything from the basics to intermediate level of CDM activities. You will be getting quizzes and assignments. I told you it will be including all the industrial things also. It is soft, and we will have specific soft skill trainings also in the brochure also. I mean the syllabus also, and we will be having some kind of technical skill development programs also in these classes. Okay, like MS Office, MS Excel. So everything will be taught. Whatever is not only the CDM, whatever are the relevant areas, you will learn everything in this course. MS Office, MS, there will be classes to make you expert of MS Excel, MS Word. Okay, and then your soft skills, job communications, interactions, and we have multiple experts, including Miss Neha, who is the main in charge of the course and who will be taking majority of the classes. And we have 30 plus hours of learning. So this course, again, underlying this skill development program of Government of India, as we are registered under the skill development programs, and 100% live classes with real-time query resolutions, and you will get personalized assignments and industry projects also. So look at the syllabus: clinical research industry, clinical data management, including your special technical skills. I requested our experts, resource persons to include these things where people should get that fizz to learn the basics first, because these are important. MS Excel and MS Word basics are important to learn the CDM. These are the integral part of CDM, MS Excel and MS Word. So you all should learn these things and all should go to that. And then study setup, the typical, will come to that typical CDM. Okay, so everything about CDM, protocol understanding, data management plan, electronic data capture system, CDI SCS, and all the activities, documentations. Okay, ECRF design, edit check, design principles, assessments. So there will be 3 assessments, two assessments in between and one at the end. Okay, then about the study conducts, everything, study status, study metrics, data validation. I mean, this is a comprehensive course. I'll not take your much time to go through the entire syllabus, but this is a comprehensive course where you will check everything, where you will get everything about CDM. Okay, then one more assignment in between after module 16, and then we'll go to the study log and other specific activities. You can see SOS preferences, checklists, data management, data manager, including vendor selections and all. These are out of my senses, frankly. Okay, so to discuss this also at the end, we have with us our expert. So it is for beginners, intermediates, all the health science students can join this. Students, academicians, industry delegates, whoever wants to learn the clinical data management, who wants to join this, and who wants to go to the industry, basically make their career on the CDM, they can definitely learn. So this course, the last date of the registration will be 24th July, and the course is starting from the 28th August. So not now, almost after 2 months we are starting this course, and before that one more webinar on the 17th July. Okay, and duration of the course will be 3 months, and the registration fees, the course fees is 20,000, 19,999. If you look at the market, I bet, go check into the market, look into the syllabus, how much they are covering, how much we are covering, whatever we are covering, the personalized trainings, whatever takeaways you are getting from us, whatever industrial training you are getting from us, if you get anywhere, I bet. Okay, and we are just charging 20,000, and others are charging for this syllabus, they are charging more than 1 lakh, 80,000, 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh. Okay, this is just because we are spending 30 plus hours. Our resource persons are they are well experts, they are experts, and they are spending their times in preparing. You will see the quality today in today's webinar only. You can see the quality. Okay, so cost will be non-discountable. First cost 20,000 rupees. Okay, so these will be takeaways: course certificate with credits, data analytics, opportunities, soft skill development, recorded videos, and let's come to today's webinar now. I'll not take much of your time, guys. So I'll talk about Miss Neha. Today we have Miss Neha Patel. She's a BPharm graduate, and then she has done postgraduate diploma in clinical research, and now she is based in United Kingdom, UK, and she has extensively worked with several CROs and pharma clients as the client data manager for over 10 years. She has conducted and led end-to-end data management activities for several studies in close collaboration with the study scientists, site monitors, biostatisticians, and clinical programmers. She was the part of clinical studies in immunology, oncology, rare disease, and infectious diseases. She completed her Bachelor of Pharmacy from KLE College of Pharmacy, Belgaum, followed by the post-graduation diploma in clinical research from ICRI, Institute of Clinical Research of India, Mumbai. She is currently located in United Kingdom, and she is now pursuing her MSc in pharmaceutical sciences with specialization in health and disease of physiological symptoms. So one more thing here, out of context, people who think that we cannot study after the job and we'll get a good gap and all, you can enhance your skills anytime in your life. You can go for studies even after a good settlement in the jobs, good settlement in the careers. Okay, she's now pursuing her MSc in pharmaceutical sciences after 10 years of the job profile in CDM. After expertise in the CDM, she has been monitoring and training associates in different countries for several approaches like risk management, vendor management, and team management for a clinical data manager point of view. Okay, so now I would welcome our today's speaker, Ms. Neha Patel. Hello, Neha. How are you?
Hi, Dr. Rajit. Thank you for a nice introduction. And
thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, definitely my pleasure.
Yes.
And
I now see we can go ahead with the CDM webinar, and she'll be talking about the syllabus as well at the end, what she's going to tell, how she's going to tell. Please learn, guys. Thank you. Over to you, Ms. Neha. Thank you.
Okay, so guys, hi everyone, and I will start sharing. Dr. Ajit has spoken much about me, so I did not introduce myself there. So thank you, Dr. Ajit, and yeah, welcome for the webinar. I'll just start sharing my screen.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You can just make it full screen mode. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So, okay, please go ahead.
Yes. So hi everyone, as Dr. Ajit said, and I introduced myself in a short note, like I'm Neha Patel, and I am a CDM professional from last 10 years. So also based on my experience in this industry, I would like you to take through CDM careers and its evolving roles in the drug development process. So when you think about clinical research, few things needs your attention. So we'll take a broader idea here from the clinical research, and then we'll narrow down to how clinical data management plays an important role in clinical research. So what attention clinical research needs, like what researchers are studying, what does the study require? Is it inpatient study research or the outpatient or non-interventional? Several aspects. So it is not always what most of the students which I have met understand that it's only about a new medication or device or always about the patients. It is all, sometimes, many studies are like healthy volunteers might also be included for the comparative study with diseased population and, healthier volunteers. So based on these requirements, research type is decided. So here you see major types of research which are conducted, and it's not always about it's only one kind of research going on. So several. So I'll just give you an idea about treatment research. As the name says, it's all about the treatments which are going on in the study. Prevention trials look at where a particular treatment can help prevent the disease. Screening test people, with the early signs, and before they have any major symptoms of the disease, they are going through the screening test, and which is led to a screening research. And also screening trials are also to see if the new tests are reliable enough to detect particular types of medical condition. So the most important, then the next, the important thing, quality of life, which has come up from last few decades, that quality of life research. The quality of life is also important when it comes to the patients, how they are dealing with the conditions they have. If they are not having conditions, how they are assessing their own development of, or reducing the risk of obviously life-threatening conditions. So yeah, these are the clinical research types which are ongoing. Moving to, so when we further narrow down, I would suggest that, yeah, there are clinical trials which are going. Most of us have heard about clinical trials. But when it comes to design of the clinical trial, it's also very important how it is designed. And so they are designed based on the set of objectives, methods, and the outcomes that are planned and expected out of that clinical trial. So as a data manager, I will say, you will say why we need to know clinical design. This is not the data, but no, as a data manager, when you get in study, it is very important to know what kind of study we are working on and what all we need to know. So once we know the design, you'll be able to deal with the data which is going to be there in the clinical trial. So that helps you understand why this trial, how it's conducted, and what you want to achieve from this trial. So data manager point of view, these aspects are very important. So that's the reason we are going to take a short note on this clinical trial designs to understand. So when you come up with when you start working with your job, you have an idea, okay, we know what all designs are, and this is what design I'll be working on this particular study. Okay. So I'll define a short definition about like analytical studies, a type of design, descriptive studies, and complex designs. So in analytical studies, they are usually used to test hypotheses on small scale or large scale study trials, okay, which further narrows down to interventional and observational. So when it comes to analytical studies, they are either experimental, where the treatment is given, or they are just observational. They just observe, as the word says, it's an observation. So when it comes to treatment, it is further question that are the subjects which are participated in the clinical trial will be randomized or will not be randomized. Randomized are allocation to treatment. Basic understanding of randomization is randomized into what kind of treatment the subject will be getting. Okay, so it is randomized control, where they are allocated treatment and the different groups as a random process. Okay, why this is very important. So you will hear a lot about randomized control trials, RCTs, most of the trials are. So why they are conducted. So there are reverse bias which takes place during the clinical trials. So random allocation helps to reduce the selection bias, what kind of group they are selecting, allocation bias. I mean, if you know some person, okay, I'll allocate the treatment instead of the placebo. So, this bias is not good for clinical trial. You do not get the data good. And also, these help in blinding the participants and caregivers. So clinical trial, it happens on the real-time basis. So you have to make sure that it is no bias in selection and giving. If you are a doctor, and if some of your very close relatives needs treatment, which is in the clinical trial, bias might be created that, okay, I'll give the preference. That is unethical. That should not happen. So that's the reason randomized trials and help in blinding the personnel who are performing the trial. And obviously that leads to reduces the performance bias. Okay, so moving on, the next non-randomized trials, as simple study investigator randomizes the treatment for the patients. So study investigator is a medical person who knows what are the inclusion criteria, what the patient or the subject is going through, and what is the best treatment for them. So they will be able to randomize. It is not automated. It is based on several criteria and checklists they perform before giving them in treatment. All right. So yeah. Next is observational. Next major part of the studies are the observational studies, where we see there are different comparisons being done, which is cross-sectional, cohort, and case control. So here you see that there is a prospective approach, which is called cohort-based approach, retrospective approach, which is in case control as well as cohort control, and also which is cross-sectional. It's like simultaneous events are studied together and compared together in this observational kind of studies. All right. Okay, so next is descriptive studies. The descriptive studies, again, as the name suggests, they describe what kind of data and what kind of analysis you do. So here there is no patient involved, but the only data is involved. There are case reports, case series, and surveys, and statistical research, which is done on already existing data. They do a study on that. So these are one kind of clinical trials as well. And coming to the complex designs, which is more prominent and has become core requirement for the data manager. Why? This is, I think, so as per my experience, complex designs has made us the clinical data managers given a more scope of growth and more activities, more exposure to the clinical research things. So what are these designs? They are like master protocol designs, or you can say adapter designs. So why we call master protocol? Because in master protocol designs, they are involved, the objectives, the involved and coordinated efforts are, between the multiple designs and multiple sub-studies. So there is a complexity level added at each and every step of that particular complex design of the protocol. Okay, so to evaluate more than one investigational drug. So there are studies which will have comparative as well as investigative drugs, more than 10 drugs. Just imagine how complicated that protocol will be, that if they're involving so many medications in one study to compare. So how much data it will be produced, how much checks and everything will come and how, the data analysis goes critically. Okay, so this is not a scary part, obviously, but you need to understand why we data managers are, becoming data science. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, there was some unmuting. Please mute yourself. Thank you. So going to the umbrella, just give you a short definition about the names which are given. You might hear when you go on this clinical trial domain. It's umbrella, basket, platform studies. So umbrella, it says it studies that examine multiple drugs for one indication. You understand? Multiple drugs for only one indication. So that those studies are called umbrella studies or umbrella trial designs. Basket studies is examining one drug for multiple indications. And platform studies examining multiple drugs for multiple indications. So it becomes a very big platform, right? Basically the understanding of this trials. Okay, so moving on to the next. So yeah, like the study design said, and like I said, how data managers are evolving their roles. There are also the trial processes where these are the basic clinical trial process which I'm going to take you through. Not specifically on data management point of view, but you need to know this because, like I said, you need to know the trial design. You need to know what your trial is in which phase. So and what is going to do. So to understand the protocol you receive at your job. Is how you have an understanding of this process. So it starts with pre-discovery, then it goes to drug discovery, there's preclinical development and clinical development. In clinical development, the phases which will go through, the drug will go through 4 phases, like phase 0, which is called exploratory phase, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So phase 0 is not always for all the trials, but you should know what it is. Okay, so exploratory trial is like first microdose is given to some very small population just to study metabolism profile and pharmacokinetics. Okay, then phase 2 is like first full dose given first time. It is like first time the full dose is given, and safety PKs, pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, and the dose tolerance range is decided. Also phase 2 next, which is a step, the severity increase. I mean the population is also increasing. You can see the graphics here. It says how much population is included in each phases. So the population increased and more data is collected and more assessments are performed. So in phase 2, severity of the disease, dose range, PK/PDs, nature of the side effects, and severity of the side effects is assessed. Okay, phase 3 is Phase 3 is where efficacy is defined, like if it is a definitely evident efficacy is shown by the drug. And what are the long-term safety concerns or the assessments, what we should take care of, what are the comparative treatments which we can compare to see which one is going where, and identify the optimum dose of any molecule or any drug which is under development. Okay, following that, once the phase 3 study is finished and we achieved the objective and the endpoints which was defined in that particular study protocol, we move to FDA review and approval. Once the FDA review and approval happens, it goes on post-market evaluation, which is phase 4. All right, move to the next. Okay, so now we have finally narrowed it down, like, okay, knowing the research, clinical trial design, clinical trial process, how it goes, what is CDM and why it is, how it is evolving, and why it has become so much important in the clinical trial. So it's not like just doing data entry or manual review like before, like data was collected on paper and then transferred to EDC. Lots of data, ECRF scanning were done. So a lot of manual work is now, it's automated and it is evolving. Like you need more expert level data managers on that. No doubt, no one is born data manager expert, but you learn. Obviously, you learn with what you are put through, but to have the basic knowledge and what you will be learning is more important. That's the reason we see how data management will work. Okay, so in coming slides, we will see during which steps of clinical trial data management rules are involved, why and how clinical data plays a critical role in every step of the research, what are the core activities performed by the clinical data manager, what are the expectations from clinical data manager, and why CDM job is best to start with. So like Dr. Ajit said, we will have an introduction to each of so each of them, but in detail technicalities we will be taking to 17th of July, taking on 17th of July, right? Okay. So CDM evolution, the very first, how is CDM role evolving? So like you said, there is one graph which I see, there is a clinical data usage, which is, put it front in the graph, or like how it has increased, why it has increased, because we have lots of e-sources coming up used in the clinical trials. Like if you see at the bottom, it's like informed consent, it's e-informed consent, it's not paper, ECOA, electronic PRO forms, smartphones, e-sources, other resources. So all these electronic and other monitoring devices, which captures the patient data, has increased how much data, because it is convenient for the patients to give the data electronically. The data pool has become a lot, and that's what has increased the data, one of the things which has increased demand for clinical data management resources. All right. So also with that increase, there is increase in scope of work. So it's not only, like I said earlier, it's not only data entering and manual review of the listings we get in the Excel file. No, it has become much more in a graphical way, in a statistical point of view. We foresee the risk and everything. It's okay. And the next is like we have an exposure to multiple operational roles, not only exposure to, but we ourselves as a CDM data manager, we have the part to play in those operational roles as well. Okay, so like the examples given in the digital enablement, then patient-centric focus. Why? So because today's trial modes are more focused on needs of the patient rather than the clinical sites. So, and yeah, eventually pandemic has also, told us everyone that, the patient cannot go to the site. So eventually it is like the patients have to use the digital applications and everything to put their daily data, because they are going to get the treatment, but they'll have to put the data as well. So yeah, and that data is very important. So, and we need to work on this patient data for the safety purpose as a whole purpose of the clinical trials, right? Okay, so, and also high quality data. So usually if the quality is poor, it increases increases chances of inaccurate decisions. Like you understand, it's a big clinical trial. If you just give, make a small, miss out on small criteria to be assessed, or on the data point of view, it can lead to a big impact, because that's important of high quality data. So that's what is expected. from the clinical trial. And there where CDM roles again come into between with the complexity and the amount of data which we deal with. And obviously it can cost the pharmaceutical company millions of dollars if any false positive conclusion is there made on the clinical trial. Okay, so eventually with all these things, it is data managers have become using multiple technologies and forcing playing a major role. They tend to use a data science concepts for dealing with the data from diverse sources, harmonizing them, formatting them, and for the clinical research, research scientists, for them to make it very easier to analyze where this trial is going. So we are the backbone where the research scientists will assess the data on how data we are giving to them. Based on that, they will analyze, right? Okay, so this is a typical CDM organogram. When you join any company, it's in a typical organogram. Why I've written typical is like the generic designations which happen to be there as you grow as a clinical data manager. So from junior to senior clinical data manager, then lead to principal data manager, where you lead the studies. Then you have associate director and the director level, where you lead the lead data managers and principal data managers of multiple therapeutic areas. And then obviously clinical data management head and clinical operational head. All right. Next comes important, who will hire? So lots of companies. You can see there are like contract research organization. You can go back and check what contract research organization do. And we will obviously cover like few aspects, like what are the differences between CROs activities, how they deal with, and how pharmaceutical companies and every companies deal with in the future sessions. So contract research organizations like PRA Health Sciences, then ICON, then IQVIA, you must have heard already of. So yeah, all these are contract research organization, and some others are like medical devices manufacturers like Medtronic. They also need data managers. It's like everything has data in it. So all these things are the employers where we have a chance to get recruited. All right. So knowing the data. So like I already said, how data is more important. You have to understand that when you deal with the data, why it is becoming more important, that you have some data, but you should not be rushing to, okay, I have this data, I have this idea that there should be a drug for it, but you have to assess that how it is safe for the humans, how it is possible, what is the risk you have, that you cannot just jump onto and do any clinical trial. Right? You can perform any clinical trial based on any data. So you don't have to rush. You have to understand what type of clinical data is expected, what are the outcomes you're expecting. You have to know if you have a protocol, you have to know the protocol. The reason we had the previous slides on understanding the study design and type of research and what is the process and which phase. So everything there is in protocol. So as a data manager, you need to know what is the protocol saying and what all aspects you will be touch basing on this particular study. There is one protocol for each study. All right. So also understanding the limitations and foresee the risk, do a reality check, assumptions. Okay. So you say, okay, there are assumptions. The technicalities is like data is, assumptions and everything. Yes, it does. But when it comes to clinical data, no, metaphors do not work. Like I have said here, with data, you have to do analysis and get the number right. Eventually, it is for human safety. So everything you do here with the clinical data, there is always a difference between the technical data on other domains and the clinical data you're dealing with is related to human safety. We cannot just play around just like that, right? Okay, so next is how data flows and in which part of data flow I'm processing. CDM roles are included. So there is a collection of data which starts. This is a very basic thing, which it's just which happens each step, like analyzing, integration, transformation, visualization, and submission. So this goes in the flow, start from point 1 to point. So when you get a study protocol, you say, like I said here, it's a study protocol, and then you what next? You as a data manager, you will be given a study design, a study protocol. So these are the steps like data management plan. You have to work. Then there is a CRF design where you will be involved, database design, you will be involved, data capture, data validation, data log. So all are this during the process till the data goes through statistical analysis. And the CDM roles, it's just not clinical data manager. You have multiple hats and multiple roles in this. So every step, like for example, in designing phase, you see database designer as playing as a part, then data analyst, study data lead, who will overlook all these activities all together because they are study data lead, data review associates who will be part of data validation, data capture, how data should be captured, how it should be clean, how it should look when it goes to database, before it goes to database locking, because locking is irreversible. I mean, obviously unlocking happens, but it costs lots of time and money to everyone. So it is usually recommended to, before database lock, the data should be super clean. All right, and the quality control associate. So once the data is reviewed, there is always a quality check done to the data. So you are, as a CDM, there is also one role which does in the quality control. So if you are keen in checking what is the quality or like accuracy of the data, that is also, you are expected to have 100% accuracy on clinical data. All right, then it proceeds to reporting of the statistical analysis, and then the data is published as the data sets. All right. So when, okay, you have everything, what are the competencies required? So I don't say that you should have, have learned this by now and everything. No, it's not necessary, because many of the things you might not know. What are the competencies that might come off as a clinical data manager? But that's what we are going. That's the reason we are having this session and the certification course as well. So you need to have good computer skills, obviously, and which will include the technical, like minimum requirement of MS Excel, MS Word, and also there is a technical aspects, like if you get stuck on your computer, how you have to. So you need to know the system, the technical. It's just not outside the system. Then you have extensive knowledge of IC and GCP guidelines, which is followed for clinical trials, and also clinical trial regulations, which we will be touch base later on in the sessions. Can you mute yourself? Sorry. Thank you. So okay. So yeah, clinical. Yeah. So extensive knowledge of IC and GCP clinical trials regulations. So these are some technical words you might have, okay, well, we don't understand it. You don't have to understand it right now, because we will be taking, to understand all these things later on in later sessions. Okay. Then what other skills you should have? Coordinating and management with the stakeholders. It's a teamwork, you guys. Data manager is not just you'll just sticking to your work. It's a team manager. So once you will have to coordinate, like what time things are coming to you, what time data is coming to you, the unclean data is coming to, what time you have to deliver the data, what role you are, what level you are at the data cleaning status, what are the timelines, everything. So you need to be in touch with all stakeholders involved in that particular clinical trial, which you are part of. Okay. Risk assessment, analytical thinking. Okay. So you get the data is very raw. You need to think about it, how the data will work, how it will be helpful, how to simplify it. So that's how, the thinking process is, you can build yourself. So obviously the flow of thinking won't appear just the day one you start working in data management, but yeah, once like we covered, like how the data, how the protocol is working, you will eventually end up analyzing how data works. All right, then you should have good documentation practice. In CDM, it is always said, thing which is not done, it is not documented. Okay, so make sure you should have, you keep a good documentation practice, even simple mail communications, which has critical information you have told your lead or your manager, or, something has come from client, should be in mail, and those mails are archived as well. So yeah, make sure whatever work you do, you document it very well. So that's the thing, you also portray yourself, how good you are at the work, and, obviously eventually takes it to the grow as a data manager. Right, then think out of box, eye for detail, problem solving skills, time management, and ability to motivate others, and self-confidence. So yeah, these are the skills, competencies, which are usually at the management. I cannot say specifically for clinical data manager, But as a management point of view, these are the required skills which you develop when you start working with this, this method of clinical data manager post. Okay, so why you should pick CDM job? So you might have question. Obviously, everyone has like, what's the growth of the job? Or am I eligible or not? Am I not eligible? I just saw in the very first question, there was one question if it's biostatistician, MSc biostatistician has to do with the CDM jobs or, CDM process. So yeah, this might answer your question. So there are two type of group we see here when they are aspiring to grow in any field. Like one, they want a work-life balance. One, they are still young. They are energetic to aspire to grow more, to they have aspirations towards clinical research and everything. So yeah, basically it will touch base, like it will give opportunities to both the group. So like for those who want work-life balance, CDM job has a flexibility. So and thanks to pandemic, most of the companies have now turned to giving the flexibilities and home-based jobs and hybrid opportunities. So it becomes very easier for who has a family and everyone, and they're like home parenting and everything to manage well. Okay, so yeah, that is a big perk. And obviously it has the challenges because it's a rewarding job, because you accept the challenge, and it's not a big challenge like you cannot do it, but yeah, it keeps you updated with new challenges coming up. And also there is an also with rewards, it's like it comes as CDM domain is a revenue generating domain, if you see. Okay, so they generate as per the task is achieved, they generate revenue, and that's the reason why they have bonus based job. It's called a high bonus based job. So most of the companies I have seen, no, I won't say everyone, but yeah, there are bonuses involved in most of the CROs and pharmaceutical companies where CDM job is involved. Okay. Next is CDM plays an important centric role for during clinical trial. I have said enough earlier how which the step data management is involved, data manager is involved, but yeah, this is then, and also they get exposure to all functional group. So if for the people who are aspiring, like they want to grow in clinical research, they are more interested in data analysis, data skills. Clinical data management will give you a good background, because clinical data managers are now exposed to all the skills, all the technologies involved to run for human safety, clinical trials, and give the best for the people's life. So here you say is help you play a part to help make a difference in people's life. All right. And last but not least, but transferable skills like project management. You learn lots of things like management level, line management, and even the programming, those who are keen from data management. You have a programming skill or the database skill you want to learn. There are like, it's not only one database data manager is working on, it's like several database data manager is exposed to. And it's only you who can see how you want to see the data. As a data manager, you play a critical role how the data should be seen on the screen and how it can be put it out for the cleaning. Okay, and of course, the salary thing. So Salary Explorer survey says that approximately 12% of hike is seen in every 17 months in for the data manager roles. All right. Okay, so like Dr. Ajit introduced, already give you an introduction to the course we are launching is called Ecxelerator course in clinical data management, which will be offered by Clima Research Solutions. Okay, and I'll take you through key takeaways and what all we are going to brief about, what are we are going to cover and why. All right, so what will be the key takeaways will be touch base of basic to intermediate concept of clinical data management. So it won't be only basic, it won't be very advanced, but yeah, to start as a clinical data management basic to intermediate, which will cover most of the clinical data management activities, right? Then we are including interactive sessions to enhance the communication and understanding the subject. So you'll be given opportunity to interact, communicate what questions you come on during the sessions or after the sessions, and understand the subject well till you know that what you are doing, what you are reading. Just not go through the the slides and you will understand. No, we are giving you interactive, making it interactive because you need to communicate in this industry. Okay, So, and also you will be exposed to latest CDM industry trends. So like IT industry, all industries are also, it's usually, if you see an overview, you just see, okay, and the IT industry is, trending. Okay, it's going lots of upgradation, ML, AI, automations and everything. Yeah, similarly, CDM industry has also lots of, enhancement and a big evolution in CDM industry. So you see that those trends while we work on, during the course. Discuss and decide career prospect in CDM that we will take in detail. And also a big thing, you will get certified once you finish this course. Okay, that will be a value add to your resume, of course. So, and what are the main core contents we are going to cover is like 30 hours plus modules, assessments and quizzes, interactive sessions, and also many things, many activities which will include the skill development process, okay, for you guys. 30 hours CDM. I'll just take you to 30 hours CDM and what skills you will develop. So like Dr. Ajit already introduced you, I'll just take it short, like I have just shortened the module to give you an core idea about what all things we are overall going to cover on this course. It's like from basic to clinical research and clinical data management basics, to the technical skills like MS Excel, MS Word basic, and terminologies used in CDM, which is also important for you guys to know, because you just can't hit your head, every time. Okay, you don't have to by heart it, but you should know it. Okay. Then other things in study setup, like 3 important phases of the study where you will be working as a clinical data management would be setup, conduct, and closeout. So setup, we are going to include the whole concept of setup, how the process flows, what are the important documents and activities, and how, which is the more important documents like protocol and data standards being followed in the industry. So these things which happen at the course start of the study, we include those individual topics. Study conduct, we check into how the study design is there. So not necessarily you will always start working with the setup. You might get started with study conduct. So you should know the study design as well, and how the data validation is, the data checks are done for the accuracy, how the study status looks like, which is very important. Every step you need to see if your study going well as a data management point of view. Okay, and study closeout, which will be our data cleaning processes, migrations, publish checks. You don't have to understand all the technical words right now, because obviously this is the part of, these are the just headers, but overall it will be like study closure. So it includes all these things like database log and storage and documentation. All right. Other skills you learn. Like I earlier mentioned, what are the competencies you need to have, grow yourself as a CDM professional. So yeah, during this course, you learn communication and presentation skills. You'll be given opportunities for a lot of activities to get involved, study and time management, problem solving and decision making, observational analytical, documentation, very important, teamwork, very important, because you need to work with team. You won't be an just person doing just your job and just finish it off and go away. So yeah, you need to have a good teamwork approach. And also the personalized training on how interviews take place, how CV writing you'll have to do, because not everyone will have all the experiences before, any experiences, CDM, not CDM. So you need to put your CV in such a way when you're applying for a job, in such a way that it does make impact. And obviously we are not going to put everything in or anything. Okay, it is obviously relevant. So it will be a very, you'll have to know what you're personally good at, and you have to write that down. All right. Okay. So I think we are done here for the introduction of the CDM and how the CDM roles takes place. So yeah, I think so now I can open up for questions. And Dr. Rajit, yep.
Yes, Neha, thank you very much for the wonderful session. And, all the audiences were with us, and they have, learned it really nicely. And you have explained, how did you explain these things was amazing. You have explained all the clinical research, data and the drug development, all the, study types very nicely. Okay, so we can take up the questions, guys. If you have the questions, you can talk to Ms. Neha or you can write in the chat box. Okay, so there are some questions. If I'm not, okay. SAS is required for CDM? Not at all. It's not required. I think Dr. Tarun has answered. Okay, so Mr. Karthik Raj has one question. I worked as a data manager intern in Indian Council of Research, Council of Medical Research, ICMR. Is it useful to join in pharma?
Yes, so yeah, Karthik Raj. So it's good to know that you already got a chance to work as a data manager as an intern. But yes, of course, you will always have an pharma is an pharma are the base sponsor of all the activities in clinical trials. So definitely you should give a try, and it's a big, huge scope. And giving the background you already have started building, it will be obviously helpful to join pharma. And yeah, pharma does have, if you're still keen to be as a clinical data manager, the pharma still have departments where clinical data management is performed. Like I mentioned in the slides as well, they are one of the employers for CDM.
Yes. There are some more questions. If you can take up, Neha, or shall I read for you?
No, I can take up, no problem. Okay, I see questions from Avinash Shavan. Is there any possibility of automation comes to industry? Yes, very good question. I was expecting this question. So yeah, I would say automation. Yes, everyone's scared. Like, what about AI, ML, and everything comes up. And okay, we don't have jobs. Data managers don't have job. No, it's not going to happen. You know what? There is one thing which automated machines don't do: thinking. It's very crucial. Thinking you can't do. It needs intuitive and conscious to think. And in data management, like I said in article, thinking, how you have to foresee the risk and everything. Not all the data, where there is no data, they cannot tell you that what are the risks, right? So I will suggest, and also that for a group, I had this suggestions as well. There is a book called Thinking Fast and Slow. If you want to note it down, there is a author called Daniel Kahneman, which has written Thinking Fast and Slow, that how thinking really slow makes you different from computers. Okay, computers cannot think. Even if you want to mail like then unless and until you're technically glitch, I mean that there is a technical glitch, computer will slow down. Otherwise they can think fast. Obviously they can work fast as possible. So yeah, so there is always intuition and conscious reasoning you'll have to provide as a human. So no.
Right.
And also one more point, one example which because this question I was expecting, it's not about solving the problem. It's about defining what exactly the problem is to be solved. What is the problem? So that's what we humans do. All right. So I think I elaborated my question enough to answer your question, Avinash. Yeah.
I'll take the questions. Next question is from Jacob. What is the average salary for a clinical data manager? Yes, Neha.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, average salary, like it starts, I can say from its average, you can say from 3 to 4 lakhs per annum to it goes to, like if you ask for India, it goes to 12 to 18 lakhs. Yeah, average. I'm saying average because once you start, you are a performer, you will see an high salary growth like anything. And once you have experience in different organizations, when you hop in with your experience with different level, at the different level, if you can ask for more, it's always a negotiable thing with the skills you carry.
Yes, I can give an example. For example, if you take Cognizant is giving 3 to 4 lakh package for freshers, and for 2 to 4 years of experience, they are going up to 7 to 8 lakhs. Okay, somewhere around 6 to 8 lakhs. So you can figure out from there. Okay, if you have 5 years or 6 years down the line, I think that is in the Indian scenario. Yeah. And extending this question, Neha, what about in abroad, salary wise?
Yeah, abroad, so with experience, obviously it increases, but abroad, if you ask me, in UK, it starts ranging from it is still 1,11,000, 1,20,000 pounds in UK. And also in US, if you see, it's the maximum you can reach is from 1,70,000. But yes, of course, you can start with 30,000 pounds or $40,000 in UK and US respectively. So you can start with that.
Okay, thank you. Great. Is asking, how can an M-Pharm fresher get into CDM job? Or can an M-Pharm fresher get into CDM job?
We have a lot of questions from here from YouTube, and I think people have asked in our registration form also. So yep, go ahead.
Yes. Okay, I take this question from Mohit. Okay, yes, of course, MPharm fresher can get into CDM job. Like I said, that you should have a knowledge, and obviously they won't be expecting you as a fresher that you should know everything about CDM. But yeah, the basic which we are planning to cover in the course, you should know, and it's a good thing. Basically, if you are an masters, it will give an value add as well to a CDM job role.
Yes. Can CRC enter into CDM? Ramchandra is asking.
Yes, definitely. So I have lots of colleagues who have come from CRC, CRA.
View duration. Sorry, please go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, for CRC, if you are a CRC or an exam, that is a value add again, like other things, to move on CDM. Why? And there are also benefits. So yes, you know how things work at the site level. So the same thing on the other side, you can easily move based on the background you have while working as a CRC. So you can easily move to CDM. That's no problem.
Yes, Pravalika is asking, how can a PharmD join as CDM? I think,
how can
yeah, she means maybe can a PharmD join CDM?
Yes, of course, PharmD can join a CDM. Like I said, also there is a thing which if you join as a B Pharm, as a normal graduate, as masters and as a PharmD, that makes lots of difference with the degree you hold, and plus where you, I mean, how you want to approach as a CDM. If you want to go as a work as a clinical data manager, there is always an option open. Like Dr. Ajit mentioned, like in at any level, I have seen people after doing a pharma, even a lab experience, after working in labs for research labs, they have moved to CDM. So
yes,
yeah, it's for everyone, I can say.
Yeah, definitely. You see, anyone, a B Pharm or M Pharm or a PharmD can join as CDM. And here your knowledge in clinical trials, clinical research, and knowledge on therapeutics, especially for PharmDs, will be advantageous for the recruiters. So they will immediately take you if you have a PharmD, right? Yes.
Yes.
I think the Harsh Patel is, the similar question. I was working in pharmacovigilance after BPharm. Now I'm pursuing my post-graduation, this PharmD post-baccalaureate mostly. Yes. So is there any scope? I think we have discussed this question right now. Okay. So
instead of SAS, SQL is good to have skill. Sujit Das is asking. No need of any SAS or SQL specifically needed for a clinical data management. Yes, you need to have a little bit of understanding in Excel.
Right.
And other skills will be taught in the course. So programming wise, absolutely not required at all. If you have, okay, it's an advantage, but
it's an advantage. Yes. It's not mandatory thing. You should to know. You need to know SAS, but yeah, for SAS thing, language thing.
Okay, I think we have answered the Jacob's question also. How can a BPharm fresher land a CDM job?
Yes, okay. It's the same question we answered.
How can a MPharm fresher land into the job? Okay.
Dr. Rekha is asking, is there any opportunity for a teaching professional to join CDM?
Oh, that's
or
nice
any age limit? Yes, Neha.
PG professional, as in I am not getting what specific professional you are. Okay.
I think she's a teaching teacher. She's a professor. She wants to join CDM. Or like her doubt is there any age limit?
No, there is no age limit. I mean, you have the skill, where you want to see. If there is no age limit, there is no restriction that you should know before entering into CDM. That's the reason CDM is, growing this much. What all you need to know is to know what is CDM, what you're going to do, and you would like to want to do that.
And I think her question, I think her question is that, is there any added advantage if she is in the academics? Dr. Rekha, you can ask your question directly. You can speak up to Neha.
Yes, please unmute yourself.
Yes,
thank you, Dr. Ajit, for giving me an opportunity. Good evening, Neha. This is Dr. Rekha here.
Yeah, hi, Dr. Rekha.
Yeah, I was working like in a professor from last 15 years in a teaching category, like in a pharmacy college. So thinking of shifting, so from last 3-4 years, but I'm not able to get into or join into because of teaching experience. There is no opportunity to join CDM, but I'm interested to learn new things, bugged up with teaching. So I just wanted to know, is there an opportunity for us?
Right. So, yeah, 15 years is a big experience. Wow, bravo. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely they will think about why they should hire you. Are typical cliché questions which comes up, that why they should hire you if you have already so much of experience in teaching.
Correct.
So, yeah, what they will expect you to know, main reason how you connect that you want, main reasons like why you want to move to CDM all of the sudden.
Correct.
Like, yeah, even for me, they will ask me why you wanted to do masters at this, after doing all this experience, you have a lot of experience. So you need to know, I mean, why you are interested, study on that, put things together, like, and know that. And obviously, if you know all the data, you will be able to crack an interview. You'll be confident enough that, okay, to answer them that, why I want to. These are the areas which I want, keen to learn. And there is no age factor which should come back to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Neha. Wonderful talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so we have some questions from Karthik Raj again. What about the scope of biostatistics as well as data manager? I mean, being a data manager, I think he's asking.
The very first question?
No. I think the question, what about the scope of biostatistics being a data manager?
Biostatistics being a data manager. Okay, so I don't know, is a biostatistician, they are the persons who work very closely to data managers. But if you're planning to move from biostatistics to CDM, that you have an opportunity as well, or you want to just know how closely they work, then it is very close coordination between clinical data management and biostatistician. So I don't know if I'm able to answer you properly, or you are planning to move to CDM. That's what your question is.
No. I think you're right, Neha. So yes, definitely an understanding of biostatistics will be an advantage in clinical data management, definitely. But biostatisticians have their own department with whom we'll be closely coordinating and communicating as a CDM or as a clinical data manager. So the scope of biostatistics is limited in clinical data management, but definitely an added advantage. If you have an understanding of biostatistics, you can communicate more easily with that particular department.
Yes. Because you will get eventually the data from the data managers. Absolutely. So you need to know that how they are retrieving the data.
Yes.
Any fresher needs some training and basic knowledge of clinical trials and basic understanding of CDM to enter the field? Of course, I mean, definitely.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so Karan Goyal is asking, if experienced in pharmacovigilance aggregates, what all books and websites are good to move into CDM? I think this is about references.
There is no specific books, but yeah, as a general global guidelines we follow, you can go through ICH GCP guidelines. There is a good clinical data management practice guidelines which we go through. But yeah, they are more into technical. When you read them, they are like more into technical levels. So there are lots of resources you have as per your interest, how much you want to look into. There is lots of advancement. But yeah, every time you work, you need to have the basic understanding before you hop on to to read any book. You won't just get it if you just start reading the technical words, because book they do not give you an they give you a definition, but books will expect you to have at least basic understanding of the CDM. So yeah, I would recommend these are the standard guidelines which is available for everyone, which you can read.
Okay, yeah, Apeksha, online course is available for this CDM. Our course is online only. Our Ecxelerator course in CDM is online, 100% online. Apeksha. Okay, so I think Neha has told about all the companies, all the industries which are which are there in the domain of CDM and where you can apply. So you just have to go to the websites and check out.
Yes.
For fresher, CDM salary starts with 2 lakhs. Okay. Is US starter salaries 50,000 pounds or okay, that would be. M farms can join, yes.
Okay, there is one question from Karan Goel. I say, if there is a course in India which is also well recognized in abroad, any government courses. So when it comes to abroad, guys, what I would tell you that any small abroad has a very high education evaluation thing. So your major degrees, they will get evaluated, and you will see the grading system is very different. Okay, but they would not even say, like, even I have done my certification, but they do not evaluate the short courses, certification courses, PG diploma courses. Why? Because their education system is way different from, and the grading system is way different. But this certifications and everything, the most biggest thing you will have, that if you do any course or any certification, it will be there on your resume. So it's on going abroad. If you are planning to go abroad based on your education, it will also play an important, just as and that what other certificates and what are other experience in learning experience you have. That way, that will carry a very big weightage. That's what I have used. So I can say that my PGD certification, which I already have in clinical research. So yeah, you can obviously you don't have to be say that okay, it is recognized, then only I can apply jobs abroad for CDM and everything. No, it's an value add in your resume itself. When it stays in resume, it says something.
Yes.
Okay.
Karthik is asking, is there any software in this? I think he's
Software regarding.
I don't know whether I should ask this, or which software used for presentation. Oh,
Okay.
I think he's appreciating your slides. Okay.
Thank you, Karthik. I take it
Is
as a
it
compliment.
LaTeX? Okay.
No, it's lots of work on it, so don't bother to ask it.
Aditya, your question is a little out of CDM, but if you want to become a SAS programmer, we can help you as well. You can contact us separately. Okay. Can R programming replace SAS? Not in the near future. They are competitors, but definitely they have their own place in the industry. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you can definitely learn R as well.
Yes. Thank you, Sujit. Of course, the session was really wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay, so Karan Goyal has a question. Which are some of the best courses online, offline, which make you entry easy in CDM? Of course, our Ecxelerator course in the CDM.
Yes, of course. We are making it extensive. I mean,
yes, if you are going out, you are making it expensive. We are making it very cheaper and very good learnings for you. You can see. So definitely, our Ecxelerator CDM course will be helpful for you. Okay, I'm a BPharm first year student and I'm glad to have this kind of informative session. Thank you very much. Thank you, Helen. Sir, this will be a course that we can request to take later if we cannot register now. We are not sure when the second batch will come, because we are not sure when when our Miss Neha will be free next time, because we are conducting all the courses at CLIMED live, 100% live classes, no recordings. I mean, no recorded classes. All classes are live. So I'm not sure. So
you can ask your question if you want to speak.
Yes.
Okay.
Aditya Gupta, I would highly recommend learning R and Python. Okay, so we are coming up with R also, but in upcoming month. Okay, can I join CDM course after completing PharmD? Yes, you can join even before. If you are in internship and all, you can join. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so Avinash Chauhan is asking, I'm joined in TCS and CDM as fresher as trainee. My current salary is not good, so please tell me when I will switch TCS and what is the highest salary. I don't think in India, what do you say, Tarun? What's your take on this question? I will ask Dr. Tarun.
No. As a fresher, don't worry about salary. At least get minimum of 1 year of experience wherever you are. TCS is a very good company. Yes. Okay, after 1 year, you can then try to jump from one MNC to other MNC. Then you will be in demand. I would recommend at least 2 years of experience. Then you will be in demand. Okay, we will also guide you if you are somehow related or connected to CLIMED. We can also guide you about your opportunity in abroad as well. Okay.
Yes.
So don't worry. Try to learn as much as possible when you're as a fresher.
And TCS is a wonderful company. Don't worry
Absolutely.
about.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Nitish Kumar, what are the scope of CDM along with AI? Oh, that's a nice question. Neha, would you like to take this?
What's the scope of? Yeah, I think so. It's on the similar line which I said. I don't know the technicalities of along with, AI, but yeah, there are several parts when it comes to big data, which comes big clinical data, which comes to AI's forms of several forms of AIs are implemented, and that's the reason I mentioned and stressed on that point that data management is just not data management. You are becoming at the scientific level also you're getting, and technically also you have a connection. So yeah, depends on what role you are moving to and what kind of projects you are working on. You will surely definitely get if you're interested to work with, where there is an advancement in data handling thing.
Okay, there's one question from Karthik. I would like to take this question. Will you arrange placement? See, till now, for every course, whatever we are launching through Kilimed, we do not promise any kind of placement, guys. We do not promise. But definitely, as our medical writing course is going on, as our SAS programming is going on, we help our each and every participant. We help them in getting references. We help them in getting interviews. We help them definitely, but we do not promise 100% placement to our participants. This is a purely learning based skill development programs what we are running right now. Okay, we are running educational programs, quality educational skill based development programs. We are not providing any kind of placement promises. Okay, so and why we do not provide, there are the things, because people provide the placement for 6 months, 1 year or 8 months. They charge from the company also, they charge from you also, and your salary will go into that things only. I would not like to comment on those, but from our side we do not provide 100% promises on placements, guys. But we help them because our all the mentors, our people, our network is there, a big network in industry. We help them getting into the industry.
Okay, Vishwanath is asking, is there any software used for CDM? Neha.
Yes, there are several softwares used in CDM, like one on for the live data, which is incoming on, I can say big softwares like Oracle Inform, Medidata Rave, and there are small software, so as Open Clinica, some softwares which are free for some small CROs which you are starting with. So right. Yes. So there are lots of software, depends on even which is a big software which has come is Viva Vault. Viva is a big software in the company. So yeah, lots of softwares for CDM. It's not only stick to one. Yeah.
What are the timings of Kilimed CDM course? Okay, so there will be the timings. We'll be taking classes every weekend, maybe after 7 p.m. because it will be convenient to Neha also. After 7 p.m. and before 7 p.m. we have other classes as well. Frankly, we have medical writing class, we have SAS classes, we have SPSS classes, multiple things. So after 7 p.m. in the weekends, 1.5 hour to 2 hours classes, more than 1 hour classes every weekend. So in the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, sometimes maybe Friday, but definitely Saturday and Sunday classes after 7 p.m. this time.
Yes.
Okay, Jacob. Okay, I think then this person involving software random and CDM its details. Yes, Vishwanath. Okay, wants to whether this is useful MSc Biostatics. Yeah, I think things we should take. Okay. Is there any other questions, Dr. Tarun, we can take from end?
Yeah, I can. Neha, Vishwanath is asking, are we providing hands-on like for the softwares that you have just mentioned?
Yeah, not all softwares, because the softwares are owned by the organizations, but we would try to give an a visual training if we get a chance, if we have an a demo which we are able to access.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in terms of software, it is not again involving any programming or coding, right? So it's just click and drag using your keyboard and mouse mostly. So in other words, it's like mostly a database on which we are working, right?
Yes. So, knowing the navigation, which is usually an initial challenge, to know the database and see them, like see the database, how it looks and how you are you're navigating it, because it is again little bit technical. So if you know in advance, you work well. Yeah.
Yes, definitely there will be a class on that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so people are messaging me. People are messaging me personally, guys. So, out of the box, Neha, I'm so sorry. Dr. Tarun, I'm so sorry. People are asking for, the instant discount. We did not decide it before, but if you are registering now, you can just pay 18,000 for this course. See, we did not decide any kind of discount because this is the fixed price for this course. There are no discounts on this course, right, guys? But as you are attending this webinar, we always come up with some discounted prices.
Yeah,
People
I
are
think
asking me.
whoever is attending this webinar, I think if they are paying, want to register today, I think you can have some discount. Right?
Yeah. So you can pay 18,000. That's what 10% discount again I can do for you guys. So if you want to register today, you can just contact on my phone number, and you can directly register. You can directly, I'll guide you how to pay and how to register, because we do not have any link for that. Okay, so you can contact me or contact Dr. Tarun also for that. Okay, and if you want to pay within 24 hours, maybe by tomorrow evening, we will end this, just because you guys are requesting, and I'm getting many requests. I got 4 or 5 requests. So 10% discount for you if you really want to register now by tomorrow evening. Otherwise, no discounts on this course. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Any other questions, guys? Or we have questions from YouTube? Or...
Okay, so I have some questions. Let me check. There are 1 or 2 very interesting questions from the registration form we got, Dr. Tarun.
Okay.
What is the advantage of being a clinical data analyst over the other fields of research? This question I really liked a lot. That question was asked about, and from my intern, our interns only, Ellie John is asking that question. She asked that question: what is the advantage of being a clinical data analyst over other fields of research?
Yes, Neha, do you want to take this question? Okay.
Yes, I would love to. So, yeah, the clinical data analyst, like I have, covered as much as information why it is so important and why it is why you should take clinical data analyst or clinical data manager job. Is like you will be playing part in multiple steps of the clinical trial. Plus, you open your opportunities for yourself, as for the career growth. You do not just stick to one activity all the time during your career growth in CDM. So you get the chance in flow laterally, even during the management in the operationals level. If you think on the higher end, you get to move to the operational level as well, which involves lot of weightage on your work profile, which will be obviously directly interacting with the client leads and the big pharma sponsors. And once you have that, obviously healthcare, once you are a prime healthcare worker kind of thing, but yeah, obviously the technical work, because if you find healthcare workers, it will usually give you the other profiles. But yeah, CDM, they put a lot of importance to the healthcare because of the clinical trials they participate into, and they analyze lots of important things, eventually leading to a successful clinical trial. So I would say it is not very narrowed down field. It is a vast field where you'll have lots of opportunities and others specific technologies to touch base, and you can even grow in some different directions from starting, if you start from clinical data management. If you I won't compare with any other fields directly, because everyone has their own importance and interest. But yeah, this has a broader scope, I can say, rather than other clinical research. It's not just sticking to the one thing.
Yeah, so quickly adding on to what Neha has said, CDM is like plays a central role for all the other departments so the data that is generated in clinical trial at the site level is being handled by the clinical data manager. So whoever it is, whether it be the sponsor or the SAS department or regulatory affairs, all the departments, if they want data, they have to come to us. And we as a clinical data manager have the power and authority to give the data to them and also manage the data. Okay. And coming to the job scenario, it's like a typical software job, 9 to 5 and Monday to Friday kind of job. And to add to that, CDM have a special advantage of working from home. No other jobs in our clinical sector has this advantage. maybe not, if not initially for freshers, but down the line, if you are looking or interested from, to get into work from home kind of scenarios, CDM is a perfect opportunity for you.
Sapala.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other questions, guys? If not, we can take off. And if you are wishing, you are willing, you register now, or you can think of, and you can contact me if any kind of query about the payments, about the fees or something. You can directly contact me or Dr. Karan. That's okay. Okay. So yes, lifetime work is possible in CDM, and you can go up to any kind of any type of highest level in the industry.
Yes.
To director, up to the president, vice presidents of the company level. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, people have, I have seen I'm in my network, people have grown till the VP of some big CRO,
Yes,
because you have worked from the bottom of the CDM. What is CDM? They were like, you see the growth as like they were just doing the data entry when there was only paper studies, and they are now like VPs of that CRO, some big CROs. So it's all on you how high you want to aspire and pursue for in CDM. That's the reason I said it's a vast scope. Yeah, vast scope.
Correct. Okay, so I'll write my contact number here, guys, if you want to. Okay. Yes, Karan, I'm writing my contact number. This is my contact number. You can WhatsApp me or call me. No problem. Okay, guys. So I think we are done with the questions. Long session, but amazing session. I love that kind of interactive sessions where people come up with a lot of questions, lot of doubts, and they clear their doubts. And I really believe people come up with the doubts when they're interested. Okay, so I believe this is a really good area, and you all are interested to learn. And someone is asking someone's personal question to me, sir, after this webinar, are we getting can we get a job in CDM? See, conducting webinars and how the webinar helps you definitely in getting the knowledge. So if you're going to some fresher entry job level entry job level interview and all, it will definitely help you, because after this webinar you will have an idea of like CDM, what is CDM, what is the workflow of CDM, how it does and how it works actually. So you will have that idea. Of course it will help you, but this webinar itself, if it is giving you the job, that's definitely not. But you will have an idea, you will learn from the webinars. So I always try to attend as many as webinars, as many as conferences, workshops, to learn the new things. I don't know where in my career, where in my career path I come across such questions. So I learn from everything, and that's why we conduct a lot of workshops, webinars, so you can also learn, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, yes, like I agree with Dr. Ajit. I mean, webinars help us a lot to understand about what we are thinking about, like about that domain, like clinical data management.
Yes. Yeah. Rafia, Jabin, definitely BPharm students can join, and also the students who are still studying, or undergraduates, or still third year or fourth year of BPharm, or final year or fifth year of PharmD or MPharm students can also join. That is the main reason why we are conducting the classes on weekends.
Yeah. Okay. And see, if I take this question from another way, even the BPharm running students can join, definitely, yes. But for if people can grow in the CDM industry after BPharm itself, our Miss Neha is the living example here. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good opportunity if you get the chance to, while you are learning, already doing then BPharm, and you are learning this. So by the time you save your time, the time is important. So you save your time once you have finished your degree, or you get a time to think about it, learn more about it while you become ready for the job.
Thank you, Dr. Rhea. Thank you, Dr. Rekha. Thank you very much, everyone. And I wish all of you to seeing on our course. Thank you very much. Take care. And I think we should wind up. If we have any questions, you can directly contact me or Dr. Tarun. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Good night. Thank you very much, Ms. Neha, for this wonderful session.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ajit. Thank you, Tarun.